and I push the button. So, ding ding. Hello, hello everyone. Um, I'm Phrique, and this is the Bloody Faguettes pilot episode for a possible definite podcast. And I'm here with my great friends who are
Matt Forgit,
Brandon Perras Sanchez.
welcome.
yeah, like we please know if you're watching this, we're literally just three dandies who are trying to like this is what we do. This is like just fun for us. So we are like, you know what? We're great. We should invite others to enjoy our greatness. So we said, let's like we're horror nerds. This is all we like. We legit text at like 2 a.m. about horrible movies we just saw, possible drama. But slight shade, but that comes with the DNA. But just this is yeah, like so just to start off, I am Phrique. I am a splatterpunk author, artist, poet, rabble rouser. I mean, a lot of things. But yeah, I'm kind of new to the game. I believe I'm the youngest of this group, which is my favorite. But we're not going to go over age. That's one of my little asterisks. I don't talk about that. We don't need to say that we were alive when these certain movies came out, like we were there when it first hit the theaters. But you could probably tell with our references. So, Matt.
Yeah, hi. I'm Matt Forgit. I am also a horror writer. I would consider my stuff more. I always call myself a B movie schlock author, but I do think my stuff has a lot of heart and a lot of nostalgia and a lot of spooky and scary stuff.
Pause. Not schlock. Schlock would be like low grade. Is not like I would not. I won't say I wouldn't associate, but no, I've read your stuff and you can't.
Thank you. That's
I'm not
nice.
allowing that. Like we're starting off. Can't do it. It's great.
I appreciate that.
Great high quality. I'm sorry I interrupted, but just
no, I appreciate that. I think self-deprecating is my thing. So, but yeah, my stuff's pretty heartfelt. I think it has a lot of references to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and all the horror movies that I love, and the horror shows, and pop culture. And there's lots of kills. I definitely wouldn't call myself a splatterpunk though. I definitely think my stuff features themes of like your friends and your family, and always strong, intelligent women and gay and lesbian characters, and the whole range, LGBTQ. And I'm also a dress barn supermodel.
Are dress barns still around?
I mean, if they stop, I don't get a paycheck anymore. So yeah. So look for the new catalog because I'll be in it. Okay.
There's a dress barn near me in Burlington where the DRE went out on the sign, so it's just the SS barn.
Yeah, sounds like dress barn. You should see my checks.
All right, Matt, you're not allowed to be funny this early. Like you're
Okay, sorry, I'll hold it back. Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be our Theodore. I think
okay.
Like
I love that.
If we were the three or the Simon, I don't remember. We were
there's Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. I'll take Theodore 100%.
Brandon.
Well, I didn't know they all had like separate personalities.
I mean, like they kind of
catch up, Brandon.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Yeah, that's for you.
So yeah, as you know, my name is Brandon Perras Sanchez. I am an author and a filmmaker. The type of stuff I write is primarily like I do splatterpunk, little like horror fantasy splatterpunk. The films that we make are kind of all over the place, from horror comedy to folk horror. The one we're working on now, Queen of the Rats, is kind of starting to turn into more of a horror comedy than expected, but I'm okay with it.
I mean, that sounds. I'm jealous because you legit make like us just sound like just some dudes that
I know,
like,
crazy.
Like you're making like movies and like just. I mean, like I was just thinking about like, well, before I forget, so yeah, like I started off, basically writing splatterpunk, and I wanted to make a post about this, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to like. I'm really trying to edit back, and not have my PR rep, come for me. So, but like a lot of people, like I did want to like discuss how we started writing, because a lot of I keep seeing people saying, I've been writing for 20 years and I wrote this story like 20 years ago and I finally put it out, and I'm sitting here like, okay, like I already, in case you guys can't tell, I'm the douchebag here, but like no matter everything I do, it will come out douchebaggy no matter what. But like I try not to, because I already know that that's legit the aura that I bring into like the room. But like I really did start writing probably about 2.5 years ago, because Gig of the Damned turns 2 years old tomorrow, which is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Like awesome. I love it, but also I'm freaking out because like I was supposed to have a hardcover. I was supposed to have the prequel that's in the hardcover. I was supposed to draw the cover. I was supposed to have this other side drive the damn thing. There's supposed to be part 2. Like that was 2 years ago. Like I'm supposed to be on that, but also shut up, brain. No, you're not supposed to do it's. You don't have to do anything. I'm hoping I post. What's your cat's name again?
Oh, Lynx? Yes.
Yeah. They look just like my Lucifer. But yeah, just like I realize now that when you open Gig of the Damned, it says this is a work of extreme horror, and like I found out that's not true. Like about a year in, I don't write extreme horror. I do write splatterpunk, because no matter what I do, as gratuitous as it is, it will always have there's always a meaning. There's always some kind of a moral. And like even the 2 stories I'm working on now, which is Rearranged Guts and Twink Death, I'm, it's funny that I say like lube me up with fry grease, just like it's anything, but you say it out loud in like a doctor's waiting room and they're all looking at you like you're, yeah. But
well, that was also when you were trying to read it to all the kids in the dentist's office.
Like I had that out at like a library, like a public library, and all these kids are coming up saying like, it says writer of the gayest shit ever, and they were saying it so loud, and I'm like, I didn't think that I'm not really around kids, so I didn't realize they were going to do that. But no, I was just saying like I basically I realized later like I had to go and change that, because I do not run extreme horror, because extreme horror is like I was on like a panel to talk about that it is more gratuitous. It's more, to push your sensibilities basically, like, but there's not really much of a moral behind it. It's literally just gross to be gross and violent to be violent. And even though my grossest, weirdest stuff, there's always like a little something. And that's luckily due to my mental illnesses that it does that. Like, I might as well bring it up now. I have OCPD. It's in everything I do. Like, so even in my stories, I need some kind of justice. I need some kind of moral. And that's just like how Matt said, I don't know why there's so many like damsels in distress and all this. And so like, that's why I want to make like a reverse giallo. And I want something that's like, oh, it's the men are the ones that are being, exploited. And it's like, I want like a female photographer to be like, I just can't control myself around their sexy bodies. Like, because that's the opposite of what we saw. So I'm like, well, then I'm going to do that. So, I mean, but it's very funny that we're like, we go deeper than just what a normal, like, I would guess somebody on the outside looking at horror would just think like, oh, they just want to, rip off some faces and chop off some heads, which is true. Like that's the best part, but we still want to put there's a lot of underlying stuff to it. And I think I've read all your guys' work. I still need to read. I'm missing one of yours, Matt. I keep forgetting about what's the one with the black and white cover?
Oh, the Felicitas.
That's the one that I keep on forgetting. You know what? Our month is coming up. I'm reading that. I'm writing it down right now.
Okay. Well, I think JJ, your stuff also has a ton of personality. Like if you send me something to read, I would know it was you, even if you didn't put your name on it.
I love that. But like we were just talking about editors, and like I had a story that somebody stepped on one of my jokes. The editor thought that I was saying, when in Rome's you do as the Romans do, and I know the joke was, when in Rome you do the Romans. Like that's and like I love wordplay like that, and like they didn't get it, and I'm like, am I just like an editor's nightmare, or just like you have to put an asterisk? Like you cannot just, fix my work and not like, I need to see it. I need to accept and reject, I think we all kind of need that, but just, I love it. And it's just, I think we all write very differently. Like, Matt, you said it perfectly. Like references are like, I mean, I love a reference. I'll throw a handful in. Matt will open your mouth and jam it. I mean, like you have to grease up first, but he will jam it in there. And then
that's what the inside of my brain is like, unfortunately. So
I mean, I get it. I think that's why we work, because just we all, like Brandon does the same thing. I'll get little nods. Like I remember the not Pale Yolk, the
Recessive Nature.
The Force, yes, that's the one where, like, yeah, I was getting a bunch of little references, and I'm like, I wanted to be that nerd that asked you, like, so is this like a nod to this? But I would have literally like asked you like 20 times. But
that was Brandon's Nightbreed. That's how I felt when I read it.
Yeah,
I was like, that's his Nightbreed.
I was gonna say, and then your commercials are great, by the way. Like I mean, you're doing a great job. I'm hoping you're getting like a million bajillion views on them, because you're then you know what? It's okay.
Well, you brought up, it's funny that you say, you had mentioned this earlier, and now that you talk about Brandon's been doing these like hilarious commercials that are really laugh out loud funny. And it's something that, as indie authors, one of the things we do talk about a lot is how difficult it is to get your name out there and to get to be seen. There's so much noise and static. And that's part of the, you're talking about how you felt behind, and we all feel that way, because I've been doing this for 5 years and I've only written 4 books, but I have a full-time job. I have family and friends. I have responsibilities. I don't have the time to write as much as I want to, which I think is a very common denominator among a lot of authors, especially nowadays. And like, you try to get yourself out there, and some things for some reason go super viral, and some things just nobody notices.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pay to play stuff out there too. And if you don't have the funds, then you don't really get noticed.
Like Craigslist, was that what it was? Pay to play, they used to say.
Is that what it was called?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Yeah. Isn't that the reference?
I don't have my fan, but I'm thwarping, just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, because there's shade in there, because I mean, we all know, and I guess I'm just gonna be the guy that says we're up against a lot of mid content that is getting an interesting amount of eyes on it. That all right, I'm gonna be good, I promise. But it's one of those lists, like, I know I read very good authors. You guys are great authors, and I don't think you guys get the attention that you should. And so when I see there's so many, and I'll read some great stories, and I'll read like, I read a lot of, I mix old, and like I'll read an old book and then a new book, and then back and forth. And I'm like, see, that's great. Like that, the way that they put that. And then I know these new guys aren't putting out, like, they're not reading, they're just promoting themselves. And it kind of shows, because then I'll go back and read. Like, I hate read something the other day that we know of, just to kind of see, like, is it as bad as I thought it was? And the answer is yes, it was. If not worse. So now, but I think it's good to like remember why you hate something or somebody, because like, you don't want to become one of those like, oh no, that's why I can't stand them, and that's why, I cuss a little bit when I find out they're still alive. That's like, that's completely normal and healthy.
Well, I find that the older I get, the more, when I meet people, just in general in life, more people show me who I don't want to be more than who I want to be.
Yeah.
And I mean that in all senses of life, because there's so many amazing authors out there that we interact with, and they know how hard this is. It's hard, but it's fun. We have fun. Like, we have great times at the cons. We meet amazing readers, and we make really great connections with people, but it is tough. I wish I could put out 3 books a year. I wish, but I don't have the life or the luxury to do that. And I know you guys relate to that, and a lot of people probably watching would understand that.
I think that's the thing too. Like, I think of all three of us, we probably work the most and are like always working somehow, but also still put
Yeah,
out books, still
work a lot.
write, still add on. And I mean, Brandon's making a whole ass movie. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, I don't know
And
how.
working.
Yeah. And it's just one of those, I think it's just, instead of looking like the absolute hater that I am, I think it's just better to focus on we're gonna get to the place we deserve to be, because like the cream does rise to the cream rises to the top, and like our day will come. I think if anything, it's one of those. Now, if I said it, it'd sound like a douchebag, but since it's all three of us, I'm going to say people that don't know about us yet, it's one of those, just no shade. It's okay. You'll catch up eventually. You'll find us soon. And when you do, you'll see what you've been missing. So again, I'm glad I got to say it as a group, because again, if I said it just me, I'd look like an ass. So, but no, now I'm uplifting. I'm in my life coach era. So
great. I love it. Life coach. And that's how I feel about finally getting the cover of the Dress Barn catalog. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Fingers crossed, guys. And there are so many, like, you guys know, there's so many awesome people out there. There's so many good authors. So I think it's hard too, because you're not competing with them, because they're nice, decent people who work hard as well. But everybody, there's a lot of things going on in the world. People don't read as much. People don't have money. People are struggling. So it's all those things. And plus, for me personally, you guys know this very well. I am not technological, nor am I willing to learn really. And I'm not interested in it. So marketing is such a huge part of all of this. There are some people like Brandon, like your commercials are hysterical. That's great marketing. It's amazing. Like, there are some people who are so good at this. Like JJ, you are so good about, not only JJ shouts out so many authors and filmmakers and movies and books, but then you find time to, like, how you find the time, I'll never know. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I was just about to say, like, it's funny that, like, Brandon's marketing is, like, it appears effortless, but I know it took work. But awesome. At the same time, I also know Brandon, and I also know that also he just said, you know what? I felt like making some eggs and getting in the tub. Hey, why don't you record this? Yeah. And it was just, and I know for a fact that it worked. We're like, but it's just funny too, because I think I'm also like, the more, like, I did the little video where Patrick showed up with my little shark, and that people went crazy for.
When did you post that?
Tiburon. It was for one of the events that we did for Slay the Lake.
Oh, okay.
Where Tiburonda was there. Where is Tiburonda? I forgot I put her. I'll bring her next time. But like, yeah, it's just the more. It's also really hard to, because we didn't sign up. I literally signed up to be an author. It was, I think all of us kind of know that, just you show up and you say, okay, so I'm gonna write a book. Like, that's huge. But then also you don't realize that you have to now market yourself. You have to get it in people's faces, and also make it look, well, some of us know. I'd say everyone in this room knows to make it look effortless, not contrived, not pounding it in everyone's face, where, like, let's make it look a little natural. But then you've got some authors that are literally just every post, just, hey, you should read this. Hey, this is great. And then we won't even get in on the AI authors and AI covers and AI books, because that's a whole other subject we do not want to get to. Bless their hearts. But yeah, we definitely have our work cut out. But I think one of the things that really does set us apart is that Brandon writes like Brandon does, and Matt writes like he does. And again, just like you said, I would know if I'm reading a Matt story. I would know if I'm reading a Brandon story, because
it's true.
Brandon somehow is able to just weave some of the most perfect, just beautifully set, and just a lot of the tones that you just throw in are just great and profound. But then you talk to Brandon and you just hear him, aw, and then you just know, like, okay, that was same man, but that just shows the duality of man. And then, like, with me, that's why I think what's funny about me is that, like, I write exactly kind of how I talk. So
Yeah.
like I wish I could hide it. Like I would do a fourth wall break, but I'm in the fourth wall right now, so I can't. But just my brain wants to. Like I want to just throw in some random, like critic, quote. But and again, oh no, that showed my age. Oh no, we're not supposed to do that. But no, I think that everything that is supposed to come to us will. I believe that you guys are great. I'm like the biggest cheerleader just for you guys alone.
JJ is definitely a cheerleader for I feel like you're a cheerleader for everybody. Like you're always cheering somebody online.
I mean, like I really am and that's why it's just so funny that things happen the way that they do. I'm just like, that's really weird because for the one time I'm actually like a little angel, kind of. But I think it's the douchebag. It's my douchebag costume. That's really in trouble. But
that bubble's gonna burst soon, though. I think we're just getting inundated with like a lot of these. I'm trying to do this without being mean. Like a lot of things are popular right now in that community. It's a lot of similar plots and ideas, and even like the artwork on the books is all looking alike too. I just think that I'm hoping readers are gonna hit a wall with it and be like, okay, it's time to move on to something new. So. We'll see how the trends change. I'm curious. I feel like this, like what's going on right now is unsustainable and it's boring.
I also, not to be totally sappy, but 5 years ago when I started doing this, I didn't know you guys, and I didn't know there's like 100 people I know now that I didn't know, and I love that. Like sometimes I think about that. Like I think of our friends like you guys, and then we have like Donna and Vicky and Karen. And all the people I'm not mentioning who I'm not purposely forgetting or anything, but I didn't know any of these people, And I think of people like Joshua at Horror Depot and Dave and Brandon at PVD Horror who are so supportive and they reach out. And it's crazy that we have this community now. And 5 years ago when I started doing this, I didn't know you guys.
Yeah.
I just put the first book out there and said, well, I guess we'll see how this goes, So it's crazy sometimes when I stop and think like how awesome it is that the people that come into your life because of like this horror community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that too, just to piggyback off, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to bear back off of Matt.
Again, it's not like, Tuesday, JJ.
To get sappy, I will agree with Matt. Like it is crazy because like it's really hard to get because it's just the fun part of this is that we get to literally put our voices into our books and just put it out there, and you will get readers that completely get you and you're like, wow, that is amazing. And I am that type where if someone wants to message me, is there's like, I love this quote, I can't believe that you had her say this before her face got ripped off. I'm like, thank you. I'm so glad that someone else saw that. But something huge for me that is just, I literally have people tell me, I love your brain. Like your brain is amazing. This is what you're like meant to do. And that's like big for me because growing up, I obviously have ADHD. But like I really did grow up thinking something wrong with your brain. Because you like to jump a lot and you like to chase squirrels, and that's okay, little JJ. But then also you like dudes. You categorize everything, you catastrophize everything. So a lot of times I'm thinking my brain is not, this like the substance, like we are one, but kind of feels like sometimes he's off doing his own thing. So to hear somebody actually tell me like, I love your brain, I think it's great. It's like, brain, do you hear that? Because someone actually gave you a compliment and said that they're glad that you're doing what you're doing. And that is big where, it doesn't matter what book drama is going on or sales or what event we're going to. It's just little things like that does sink in and makes me say, okay, so I'm going to go write something really weird today because so-and-so said they want more. So I'm going to do it.
And I think you touched on it too. And I'm sure Brandon will agree. We did grow up, you're just being gay kids alone. You grow up being told you're weird. You're on the outside. You're not like us. You're not normal. and I think that informs all of our writing very much. Our writing, you know, when you read a novel from Brandon's all about the other. You know, he writes about monsters and the other, and you write about drag queens. And if you read my stuff, I write about lovable losers. Like, nobody in my books is cool that's going to be a main character, because I cannot write that and I don't relate to it. But we all grew up in that. You know, it's always hard for everybody, whatever you have, unless you're rich and beautiful, then fuck you. But for me, you know, growing up, I was such a lonely kid, and my biggest connection was to horror. Horror was like what kind of saved me. Reading, my pop divas, my TV shows, my movies, but especially horror. That's what I always feel like when you read my book. I hope you can feel that. Not to be totally cheesy, but it's true. You know, people, I'm from the era when if you liked horror when you were growing up, you were told you were weird, or you were going to be a serial killer. When it's like, it's so amazing to see how accepted it is now and popular it is. But back in those days, it was like considered almost a shameful thing. It was one more thing for my parents to be embarrassed about. I loved horror movies, and I was like this, you know, because this was as good as it got. I looked like this at 8 years old. So, you know, I did not win the lottery on that front, but I love the horror community. I love horror. Literally, I feel like I feel so much love for it.
Brandon, did you want to throw anything else in? Because I mean, it feels like me and Matt kind of took over. And
no, I agree with everything you guys are saying too. I think the experience of growing up as an outsider, being gay, like, you automatically become an outsider. Like, you're never going to fit in. As media, you don't fit in the media. You don't fit into society, and it is comforting as you get older, though, to, like you said, like kind of pave your own way, make your own family. And I think the horror community has just always been pretty open to a lot of stuff. I've always felt pretty welcome.
It's one of those, just, if we're not welcome, then we're going to make ourselves welcome. And it is very funny, because that is legit how I literally came in the community swing, and I said, so, I mean, I pretty much flopped my dung out on the table and said, so I'm Phrique. This is me. If you don't like it, too bad. And just like, I ran with it. And that's kind of the energy that I bring. And that's just, and I think that's kind of what you got to do. And I think that's what we all do in our own different ways. Matt does it a little bit quieter, a little, nerdier. But again,
me, a nerd?
I mean,
what?
That's not what Dress Barn says. But
I was gonna say, did you not hear me? Dress Barn supermodel. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get on that, we do actually have to get we talked about horror books and the author side and all that, but one of the main things that we really do talk about the most is movies, and especially horror movies. Because like, I try and watch, not bloody movies, but it's just like, there's only, I know what my attention, I need faces ripped off. I just do. But so like, I really do. Like, last night I watched like a giallo that was all in Italian, and it was of course my brain just zonks out, but I can literally watch a giallo every day. But I found out that they're like niche, where they were only made for like 3 years. So there's only like 98 like actual giallos, but then there's other ones. And so now I'm like, well, now I have to find the 98, because that's the way my brain works, which is completely not overpowering and just, but that's okay. This gives me something to do. But I did want to, we kind of got a little bit of homework here, where I said, let's just get the ball rolling. Let's talk about one horror movie, or any kind of movie, that we liked and we did not like. So if I can go first, the last horror movie that I watched that I really, really, really liked was Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which I'm still like, I want to watch it again. And that's always a good sign. But like, it was the perfect, so Lee Cronin, that's the same guy who did Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
And you can tell, because like, he does the same, like, you can tell like he likes this, everything is in there. Like, he makes movies how we write books, where if he likes it, it's going to be in there. Like, there's going to be like a flashback, and then there's going to be, the whole, just, there's so many things that he ropes in there. But also, like, he's really gross, which I can 100% get behind. Have you guys seen?
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it. I liked it way more than I thought I would like it. I hated Evil Dead Rise, but I like this. I thought The Mummy was really fun. I was shocked. I had zero expectations.
Yeah, I think like so, Matt, you definitely have to. Like
no,
legit.
we're waiting for it to come on to HBO.
It's like, fun as hell. It's just like a fun
movie. And it's like so you see things in that you're not gonna see anywhere. That funeral scene, I'm still just like I cannot
no spoilers.
I do not spoil. But just
we're gonna. You know what's funny? I had no interest in it when I saw the commercials.
Oh,
I thought it looked like an Insidious ripoff. But now that I'm hearing JJ talk about it, I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to watch this now.
The trailer was awful. That little girl, like, it's fun to be dead, Grandma. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, that's from the commercial.
And it was funny too because it's one of those like if you didn't call it The Mummy, if you were to call it like Evil Dead Mummy, something like you probably could have, but it was kind of like it was interesting that they basically, I mean, it probably could look a little like lazy now that I think about it, that he basically made like an Evil Dead Mummy movie because The Mummy was kind of not as big of a part as you would think, but just whatever he did, I enjoyed it. Like I enjoy like the whole like I was literally writing a story about like a possessed abuela, and that's what made it so funny about this movie because I'm seeing this and I'm like, this is so funny because it's legit what I'm writing, and I was really going for like I wanted a Sam Raimi, feel where it's absurd, but then also you're seeing just like buckets of just vomit, and you're just like, what is going on? Like Drag Me to Hell I love Drag Me to Hell. Like so it basically felt like that. It felt like in the same like verse of that. But yeah, just the gore and the gross, and then just if they can make more like that, I'll be happy, because now the one I did not enjoy was Undertone.
Oh yeah.
Matt, did you see that one?
I did. We liked it. We thought it was good. I think there was missed potential in parts of it, and I think it's the kind of movie you have to see in the theater,
like
the
sound and all that. So now, so I told you guys, I texted you guys, and like I mean it. Patrick is not allowing me in the movie theaters, and he is that guy where he says, like, he does not like people at all. So he hates the public, and especially movie theaters. If it's hot and like the air's not right, he literally will say, "Let's go," and I'm like, "But I want to see this." But it's one of those just that's the joy. That's like married couple life. But yeah, I wanted to see that in theaters, but it was just I might as well wait for it. And then I watched it, and my whole thing is like the setups and all that were good. I see what they were going for, and this is legit where my brain isms are going to come out, because this really felt like they were trying to basically, I don't want to call it propaganda, but there was a lot of like, you guys going really hard for this like Christian angle, like the abortion, all that. It felt very preachy. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Nefarious, but that's the one where it's kind of like it's marketed to be like horror, but if you watch it, there's so much like preachiness in it that it's like, okay, so does anyone else see this? Because maybe it's because I went to Catholic school, K through 12, but like, and it shows. But like, I know when I'm being like sermonized too, when someone's trying to make me think something without saying it, and it's like, so I'm really sensitive to that. So I'm just kind of like, so the moral of the story is to keep your baby, is it's kind of like, that sounds to me like kind of like Christian propaganda. So it was just, and once I got that in my head, like, it's very hard to get it out. So I was just like, all right, the ending I kind of figured was coming, but I just really felt, and then like I said, it came off just way too preachy for me, where it took away from the rest of the movie for me. So yeah, I'm kind of picky, but yeah, that's my yay and nay. Matt, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I actually put a stack next to me to decide at the last minute. I'm just gonna go with an old classic, an old friend, Popcorn. Just because I just love this movie so much. This was a special like edition they did a few years back. This is really, you know, it's crazy. It's so hard to find online. Apparently there's nowhere streaming it or anything, but I think Popcorn's one of those movies that if you know it and you love it, you love it. And that's one of those ones I rented 8 million times on VHS growing up, and I finally just bought the VHS. And it's just a charmer. It's a charming movie. It's made for people who love horror movies and by people who love horror movies. And you know what? This is something I complain about all the time, because Matt and I will go see horror movies, and I'm fascinated by these movies, especially in horror these days, especially the last, I'd say 20 years this shifted, where they make so many characters so unlikable. And I can't watch movies. I'll watch it, but I'll hate the characters and not care what happens to them. And it doesn't bother Matt. Matt doesn't care either way. Me, I need to feel like emotion towards the character to be scared for them. And Popcorn's that kind of movie where they have this incredibly likable cast of actors. They're really charming. They all kind of have their own personalities. It's got a really cool backstory. You know, the villain's got a great backstory. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And it's fun. It's like it remembers to be a fun movie too. And I feel like there aren't a lot of movies. Brandon always says this, that every movie's about everything now, where we don't have any horror movies that are just fun. Yeah. And I think Popcorn's just a fun movie. And Jill Scholl, the lead. I love her. She was one of my icons growing up. I still love her. She was one of my queens. She did like 6 or 7 horror films, and I loved her so much. I would always she's just awesome. So that's just an old favorite that lives in my heart.
That's definitely a Matt movie. That's like,
oh yeah,
that's probably, I think I watched that. I remember like my parents would literally not let me watch anything scary growing up because they knew better. Like horror is probably the worst thing for me. You know, I'm an anxious little just ball of nerves, but with a really crazy like imagination. And I still am, like I am this slightly advanced age where I will watch something and I will legit have to like, all right, I need to piss, but let me look behind the shower curtain first, just in case, because today may be the day that the killer's in there. But like that, and that's usually my test that where a horror movie got me. Like I still, When Evil Lurks is my favorite horror movie of all time right now, and legit when we left the theater, I had to go piss and I'm at the urinal and literally I'm like looking around, I'm like, okay, so that movie got me good because I'm in public, like worried that the killer is gonna get me. But yeah, that's one of those but my parents would never let me see it. So then the minute a friend of mine rented, I was like, holy shit, put that on right now. Like, oh no, my parents got that. Put it on. I want to see it because my parents won't let me. And then I just watched it again. I want to say like a year and a half ago, and I'm like, yep, this is like, I'm so glad that we get to like watch it again. And now the things that you didn't, pick up back then, now you do. And it's that's another one where I could watch it tonight, and I'll still be like, those stuff that I'll miss in there, and that's definitely a Matt movie. So then, Brandon.
What was your movie you didn't like?
Yeah.
So I was trying to think. So I think Brandon and JJ, you and we all kind of feel the same way. Like I can watch a really bad movie as long as it's made with soul and like heart. Yeah. I don't care if the budget's $12. If I feel like you made it with a lot of passion. So I was trying to think like, what movie did we watch that I was just like, this was made purely for profit? And the one I keep coming back to is Texas Chainsaw 3D. Which is one of the few movies I've ever seen that Matt turned to me 30 minutes into it and goes, "Do you want to leave?" Because it's so the tagline on it. It's just so soulless. It's just so wrong-headed, which I know that's a word that doesn't get used a lot, but that's the word I think of, where they're trying to make Leatherface, who skins and eats people, an anti-hero. The characters are so unlikable. They're such jerks. Like, they're just such dumb decisions. It's just such a movie that was so clearly nobody involved in it actually cared about the movies. Like they just said, hey, let's make a profit. And I understand it's a business.
Yeah.
But it really showed. It really showed that it's just such a every decision they made in that movie. Like I don't want Leatherface to be an anti-hero. Leatherface skins and eats people. So trying to convince me that he's a misunderstood bad guy or good guy, I should say. And I understand he's more complex than that in the first film, but in the end, he still chainsaws and eats people.
Now wait, I just want to say, like, he is the bad guy, but I believe, I don't know if we've had this conversation, but really, even from the beginning, he was more of an etiquette, like Die Hard, like, because you don't just show up to someone's house.
I agree. I mean, hey,
I don't think I would kill people, but also if you just show up to my house and then just invite yourself in, it's like, you know, if I had a chainsaw with Patrick, won't let me have a chainsaw, of course, but I'm just saying, I get it.
Well, he's kind of like a shark. A shark just does what it does. It's not thinking of Leatherface doesn't think of right and wrong. So he's scary to us. But like JJ just said, he was protecting it. In the first movie, he's protecting his house. He's being told what to do by the cook and the hitchhiker. But I don't want to see a movie where it's like, oh, after years of him mutilating and killing people, we're supposed to be like, oh, he's the good guy. You know, and the way I mean, just it's such a terrible movie. It's so bad. Like I've literally tried to rewatch it and I can't.
I was about to say, I don't even remember. That's how bad it was. That I know I watched it, but I don't remember it at all. And just, but I think, like you said, Brandon said that, you know, movies are always about everything. I want to say now they're just, so many movies are just big reaches. Like they're like, let's make the most absurd reach ever, you know, that maybe this could be a good guy. Yeah. Maybe it's not his fault that, you know, it's just, but it's sometimes just, we don't need all that. Like, again, just like with old books and everything, just that's why I watch movies and read books that are older than me, because I think that's how you learn, and you're continuing the same thing. Like I am all about splatterpunk, so I'm reading the greats, and I just finished the Slob, which is not which is like one of the top ones. I didn't like it. Like I know I'm literally going to get, like, you know, browbeat because of it, but it's also good to know, like, to show that that's what the old school did. I took my notes, but just, you don't have to reinvent the wheel though. You can just look at what worked and let's play with that more. Like, why not?
I'm going to add one more thing to Texas Chainsaw 3D because this needs to be said. If you do the math when the movie's taking place, because it's supposed to take place right after the first film, the lead characters would be in their 40s. And that's how stupid the people who made it think we are. They think that we're so stupid that we can't do general math. And I just think that's symbolic of the entire. And I hated the one that came after it too, the prequel, where it's like the handsome kid turns out to be like, it's just so bad and we didn't need it. And I think it's funny, when I think of the two movies I dislike the most, those are the first two that come to mind.
I love when Matt goes comic book guy on this, because he that's when he gets shady, and that's when he starts reading everybody. So I love it. Brandon.
There's been a weird trend. Like I don't know what it is and why. I have my conspiracy theory ideas. Like the last 15 or so years, like even like superhero movies, we don't have like actual villains anymore. They're all anti-heroes. Like think about like even like the Avengers movie, like when they're taking on Thanos, he's like not really a bad guy. He's like, you know, he's just doing his job and he's misunderstood. Or like the last like Doctor Strange movie that Sam Raimi made, like the Scarlet Witch is the villain, but she's also a scorned mother. And it's like, you know, you watch these like old school superhero and horror movies, like you have like some dark ass crazy villains. Like even like Jack Nicholson in the first Batman movie as the Joker, he's just a sick fuck. Like there's like nothing, like there's no anti-hero quality about that. He's just an asshole and like a sadistic sociopath. And like it's just like, why are we doing this? Are we afraid to like it's going to inspire people to be? I don't know. It's like it's a weird thing to me. And like and a lot of horror movies too have been doing this shit too. Like I don't want an anti-hero. I want a sick, depraved fucking piece of shit that I'm terrified of. Like even like Freddy Krueger, he's a fucking like child molester, child murderer, and it's like they try to like make him an anti-hero a little bit too. Like even like in Freddy versus Jason, I'm like, no, we're not gonna. He's literally a child rapist. Like he's our president essentially. Like it's just fucking weird. I don't know. I hate it.
I mean, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Matt, that was your super duper hated like kick it in the nuts, just
Yeah.
shoot it in the neck. So, Brandon.
So I saw this movie recently. It's been years. I've been dying to watch it, and it is this movie Blonde Death. Came out in 1982. Bleeding Skull just put it out maybe like a year ago. It is so fucking insane. Some of it was filmed at Disneyland. It's super micro budget.
Yeah.
So it's not really horror. It's more of like a John Waters like.
I'm in.
Depraved exploitation. The dialogue is bananas. It's pretty funny. I highly recommend it. I don't want to give anything away because the story is completely insane. Like it just keeps going to places. You're like, what are we doing? Where are we going? It's pretty queer. There's like a throuple that happens in it. So all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, if you can find it, definitely watch it.
I wrote that down. I will find it.
The director like committed suicide in 1997, but I guess he put out books and stuff too. So I'm curious what his books are like. I think this is the only full-length film he made. He made a couple shorts that sounded kind of like Todd Solondz-y kind of stuff, like just kind of like edgelordy shit, but like probably like smart edgelord, I guess. But
yeah, and I think that's why also we work as like a triumvirate, because Brandon finds these ones that just I never would have thought, never would have even knew that existed. Like he really does find the really deep hidden, just again ones that I wouldn't think I would want to watch, but just the minute he says to watch it though, I know I need to. And you know, and Matt, like our kind of our librarian, kind of like he can go down and he can say like I'll bring up a movie and he'll be like, oh yeah, that director did blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh I wish I knew that. Like my brain will. I mean, I can remember, you know, something stupid I said in the 7th grade, but for some reason I can't remember, you know, what this director did. But then, you know, then I really like the obscure little Italian giallo, the weird stuff where it really, like my poor niece will come out of her room and she'll be like, there's a vagina on the screen, but it's just sorry. I mean, I didn't make it. It's just, you know, it's exploitation. They were just, hey, we're gonna have full bush on screen for like 10 minutes,
just like at my house.
I mean, it's one of those. Just our tastes are all different, but they work though, and it keeps, because then I would never have found that. So I'm definitely writing that one down.
Well, horror is the gift that keeps on giving, I think.
I agree. Then my nay is not really necessarily a nay. It's more of, it's not the movie's fault, but like Obsession.
Oh, no!
Wow, what a hot take.
I didn't dislike it. I just found it to be just so like fine. So like it's not the movie's fault at all. I think on paper it's a good movie. If it wasn't like everyone freaking the fuck out about it, like the way people talk about it and talk to me about it, it's like this like horror like masterpiece. Like it's up there with like the greatest, and it's like, yeah, it's fine, but like I wasn't as blown away by everyone else with it. Like that director, I like his first movie a lot. The Milk and Cereal movie I really enjoyed. I thought that was really fun. I think what he did like on like no budget was fantastic. But Obsession, like it was fine. Like I'm just really, really baffled by like what this hype machine is right now behind this film. I'm really confused. But
do you think the overhyping? Well, I mean, sometimes overhyping does kill a movie for you, because I think Obsession's my favorite horror movie I saw all year so far.
I have not seen it yet, and I'm excited. I was excited just from the premise. Like I purposely tried to not watch like too much of the trailer, because you know they give it away. But from what I took of what the premise was, I'm like, that sounds genius. So I have not seen. I'm waiting to see that one. But then now that you mentioned now that kind of makes sense if that's the same guy who did Milk and Honey, because I remember I watched Milk and Honey. That is what it's called, right?
Milk and Cereal.
Milk and Cereal.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I watched that one and I was like, okay, it was good, but I didn't understand why it was kind of like how Brandon, like, I don't understand why it was getting like the huge fanfare it was. But also, you know, we each have, you know, different tastes, what we like. But then that could be why we're getting like inundated with just everyone and their mother talking about it. But like people said that about The Substance, but The Substance is still like, I mean, that's like a huge one for me. I think that's like if I were to have to like school somebody on like, so what's modern horror now, I would show them The Substance, and that was
Substance is awesome.
That was like super overhyped, but also like deserving of it. So then I think it's also that not to get too existential, but we're all just kind of grasping for anything to keep us alive and make us want to wake up every day. So maybe that's why people say, "Oh my God, this movie I just saw is the best thing ever." So no, I'm never going to shut up about it. And it's just maybe it wasn't that good, and maybe you're just looking for some kind of something to liven up your enclosure. But just I mean, that's when my brain. That's when I'm like, okay, shut up, brain. You're doing it again. But like I want to see it, but now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm gonna pump my brakes a little bit.
It's worth watching for sure. Like it's not by any stretch of the imagination a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I just am just it's a one and done for me. Like I don't think I'd watch it again. Really, you know what I mean? It's like it was fine. It was done really well. Some of the monologues in it were fantastic. I really enjoyed the writing, but yeah, like I left the theater being like, this is what everyone's been going fucking bananas about. Like it made it was one of the highest grossing second weekend box office films of all time. Like it did like broke records on its second weekend, which I'm glad it's a horror movie doing all this. But at the same time too, I'm like, man, this is not a masterpiece. Like it's good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just baffled.
Brandon, do you think the hype killed it a little for you?
I don't know if it was, I think the hype killed a little bit for me for sure, but also like the reason why I think the substance deserved the hype is the story of that obsession is we've seen the story before. It's almost like the monkey's paw, like the Jin wish kind of thing that goes out of control. Like it's like the death or till death, that Tales from the Crypt episode with the voodoo. Is it called till death or something?
I know you're talking about.
It's not anything new. There are some things that are new with his version of it that like I did not expect. That I actually really enjoyed this thing that I didn't expect. That was what I want to give you the thing away, like what the thing was. But as a whole, I just was like, this is fine. Like to me, like a masterpiece is something that you're gonna watch a million times, and like I think like something like The Substance is like I can see people watching that like a bunch of times. But Obsession, like once the cat's out of the bag, bad joke, but you'll see when I mean you watch the movie. I just kind of like okay.
I think that's kind of like how, I mean, to circle back to like when it comes to books, you see these books that are getting like everyone, their mother is talking about it, and then you read and you're like, so that's what everybody was like. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but I am like, your boos don't affect me because I see what you clap for them. Like it's like that's like one of my like quotes, because I just see like, so that's what you guys went crazy for. Okay, well, just pat on the head. Good job. I'm glad you liked it. Love that for you. But just yeah, I get it. But I still want to see it. But yeah, it's just like if it makes sense. But that's just
let us know what you think. I wonder if you're.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt and I saw it on opening weekend, so maybe we saw it at the right. I remember that years and years. This is going back when the movie Pineapple Express came out. Everyone kept telling me how it was the funniest movie they'd ever seen, and it took me like 2 years to see it. So by the time I watched it, I was like, "This is the movie everyone keeps like." I was like, "It's fine."
Yeah, that's funny you brought that up. That's another one that same thing with me too. Everyone raved me how fucking funny that movie was, and I saw it and I'm like,
yeah, I was like, "This is fine." But I don't hate it. I think I came in too late on it. I think I missed, So I think Obsession can fall for that too.
I haven't seen that one, but it's also, that's a lot of them were like, I put it off for so long. And then when you do get to it, you're like, okay, so it must have been like a time thing. There was a point in time when people thought Dane Cook was funny. It's just,
wait, Dane Cook's not funny? Oh no.
I mean, we have a president that was a reality star. Like, I mean, just this is like the worst multiverse that we somehow ended up in. But just as long as we have these horrible, great movies to keep us chugging along, that's all that matters.
We saw. Well, I love. We saw Backrooms today. I thought it was fantastic. I just love that we're in this thing where we have movies like Backrooms and Obsession that are they're not already original. They're original. They're not already existing IPs.
Yeah.
These are these young filmmakers. And I love to see this because I feel like in 20 years, there's going to be three gay guys online talking about how these were the movies that meant so much to them. And I love that. I love to know that I was there because that's how I feel about all the movies I grew up with, like Jason and Freddy and Michael and Jaws and Alien. And I'm like, those movies, how much they mean to me now.
Yeah.
And I love that I'm so scared that I'm going to find out that these two young filmmakers who I think are great, but I'm so scared I'm going to find out their Nepo babies are rich kids. Because I love the narrative that they worked
Brandon's
so
making a
hard.
face. Brandon's making a face.
What's that?
Brandon's making a face.
One of them is
no. Which one?
Obsession.
No. Oh, wait till I tell Matt. He knows that's like one of my. I was so proud of him. I was like, this amazing kid who like worked so hard, but then it's like, oh, you had dad's money.
Yeah, I found out today. I was like, I like him. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, he's a great visionary. He's actually doing the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Which
I mean, sometimes this is when I envy stupid people, because sometimes it's good to not know things, and sometimes it's nice to just stare at the sun and enjoy your delicious lead paint chips. Like that. I mean,
they just leave the franchises alone. I'm just like, we have like, there's so many Texas Chainsaw Massacres out. Like, I don't think
and there's only like 4 good ones.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep on, because they're going to keep on. They're not making these movies for us. They're making them for just horror fans. And they said that, that whole nostalgia marketing that I told you guys from my psychology of marketing and all that, they're literally just trying to just make those little neurons pop in our brain that says, but we're not going to go there. We are getting close to the hour though. And we did say we're trying to keep it to an hour, even though we could, as you guys can see, we can legit keep going, which is what's great about us. But also, we were supposed to trying to keep this as neat as possible. So just before we do go, I think we should shout ourselves out. I mean, I shout you guys out all the time, but just, I am Phrique. I have my books are all over KDP, Godless, Phrique Big Cartel. I have all my I got fans, stickers, I'm doing art now. Just, there's, you can't see it because my background is blurry, but there are guts back there. I was proud to show off, but I can't now. So I don't know. I'm private, but I'm not though. So, but and then I have the Chicago Pride Book Fest that Slay the Lake is doing is June 27th at 12 p.m. Tinley Park. I love that place. So I'm excited for that. And also Pride starts tomorrow, so get out of the way, Straggots. Like, this is all about us. Shut up. Go away. We want to hear none of your little meh. So it's our month. So
I mean, they were sure quiet during Veterans Pride Month of May. I heard no one talk about it. Like, a month, and then no one says a fucking thing. That was all of May.
Yeah.
And November.
So that's all my stuff. Brandon, what about you?
Yes, you can find all of my smut at bpshorror.com. I got t-shirts. There's a link tree in there. If you go there, you'll see like our movie website too. So we have like Saint Drogo Blu-rays available on there if you want to watch Saint Drogo. We're trying to get it streaming right now, but it's a long pain in the ass process. So it will be streaming at some century. I don't know when, but it will be. But yeah, I think that's about it. And we're currently filming Queen of the Rats too.
Awesome.
And we're like 65% done, and hoping to do all the special effects this summer. So once that's done, it'll be close to like 95% done. So it'll be fun.
Awesome. And then JJ, I think, is putting links for us in the description too. But I am also, here's my books. Oh, here's some of my books. You can find them on Amazon. JJ's gonna link my link tree where you can get signed books and t-shirts and autographed pictures of me in my dress barn catalog uniform. So just send me a shout. I appreciate all the love and support I get from you guys and from my friends and family and the readers and friends we make at cons. Like, those things, I always try to make sure people know those things are never lost on me.
Well, Matt, I do want to just say that I'm a little off-put that you are coming off as the funny one here, because that was kind of what I was banking on. So now I have to go and now I gotta start pulling out my $10 words, I guess. So saying
JJ's always the funny one. I'm the nerdy one.
No,
Brandon's the thirst trap.
Now
that's what the kids call it, right?
I have to start saying like petulant and nonchalant and just I'll pull out all the fancy words. So I gotta be the nerd now. So way to
who
be
did we
funny.
decide that you were which Charlie's Angel? Because I'm definitely Cameron Diaz. I think Brandon would have been Drew and you would have been Lucy, right?
Okay, I could see that. I was gonna say I know the new ones. I don't know the older ones. Okay, yeah, I don't mind being a Lucy. She's great. So
I love them all. Yeah, I love them all.
Well, the good news is we literally made it to exactly 1 hour. So I think we killed it, guys. So
yeah. See you next time.
I think we could do this.
Yeah.
I think that you guys are in trouble because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Brandon, for being the best.
Thanks, JJ. Yeah. Thanks, Brandon.
Best
Thanks everybody watching.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk after this. Bye, guys.
Bye.